Welcome, Mahopac community. It's 7:09. It's Tuesday, May 11th, and this is our budget hearing. What I would like to do right now is I would like to ask our school board for a motion to open this meeting.
So moved.
Thank you, Tanner. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Larry. All in favor?
Aye.
And would you please join me in standing for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All righty. Okay. All right. Once again, welcome the Mahopac community and welcome school board members. What I'd like to do right now is this is our budget hearing. And what I'd like to do is introduce our superintendent of schools, Mr. Anthony DiCarlo. He will kick it off and then hand it off to our assistant superintendent for business, Miss Sandra Clohessy. So Anthony, take it away.
Thank you very much, President Mongan. And tonight, the 21-22 budget looks to continue the secure gains that we have made with regards to the alignment of a strategic roadmap, which is our commitment to moving the district and its students to the next level of excellence. The annual budget, when coupled with the strategic plan, sends a powerful message to the community as to the Mahopac Central School District's priority and the community's corresponding invitation to support those priorities. The budget has been developed in context of the physically challenging environment in which we are in the state of New York, as well as increasing the student needs for both academic support as well as social emotional support. The Mahopac school community has thrived doing more with less and being physically responsible to the taxpayer and being below the cap for the past 6 years, while also passing a $54 million bond in order to upgrade our facilities and buildings in dire need of repair and renovation. The Mahopac Central School District budget is not simply driven by the number of students who we must educate, but the complexity of academic and social emotional needs, more important now than ever in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have all been dealing with this pandemic for the last year and a half. If all our students had the same interests, abilities, and personalities, our budget may be easier to develop, but we know that that's not our reality. Mahopac has long been proud of identifying the needs of each student, and we continue to deliver programs and services to meet an ever-increasing need of our students during these difficult times. In closing, as we continue with increasing challenging times, the Mahopac Central School District continues to thrive on doing more and boasting of being recognized on a state and national level. 97% of our students graduated. Our students go to the top comprehensive college programs across the country. Students can take up to 2 years worth of SUNY college credits accepted by a variety of different electives that we offer at Mahopac High School. Our kids are going to the most competitive and highly competitive universities in our country, as well as our trade school graduates whom are graduating and going on to top post-secondary union internships and jobs. In addition, our extracurricular activities and sports programs are receiving national and regional honors. Our music program was once again recognized as one of the top community programs in the United States. We continue to garner league championships and regional championships. And most importantly, we continue to hear from our alumni who are leading many corporations and companies across the country. And they always receive and are emailing us to let us know that their foundation was established here in their K-12 experience, and their academic foundation and relationships with their teachers and fellow classmates has made them the persons of who they are. With much success. Thank you all for listening to tonight's presentation as we will go through our budget hearing. I now turn it over to Sandra Clohessy, our Assistant Superintendent for Business. But prior to her going over a slide presentation, I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow night we have a variety of different presentations to our PTO Council as well to MSA. At those meetings, after we do our presentation, we open it up for questions and answers. Tonight is a public hearing. I just want to remind those of you who may have a question with regards to that, please turn into our meetings tomorrow night, and we'll spend as much time as we can with regards to that. So thank you very much. Ms. Colesi, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I will share my screen. Tonight we are going to go over a quick snapshot of our 21-22 budget. First, I would like to go over just our budget snapshot. Basically, a budget that we are presenting voters next week is $127,378,406. That is a 1.65% budget to budget increase. That is different from the tax levy. The tax levy is expected to increase $1,787,585 for a 2.03 increase. That is the maximum allowable tax levy by law under the tax cap. We are projecting to use our fund balance, which is surplus from this year going into next year of $2.8 million. And then to help reduce the tax cap, we are projecting use of reserves of $182,134, which is coming from our tax reduction reserve, which was from the sale of C-Corp. And that money, the proceeds from that sale can be used to reduce the tax levy, as well as our debt service fund. And we're using $425,000. That also factors into the tax cap calculation and allows us to reduce that tax cap. So here's a breakdown of our revenue. It is broken down into major categories of state aid, miscellaneous and other, fund balance and reserves, and then the tax levy. Again, it's a 1.65 increase on budget to budget and 2.03 on the tax levy. It is further broken down to show you that from our revenues, we receive 70% from the tax levy, 26% from state and federal aid, and 4% from other sources. Now with that, we balance the budget with our expenditures. So our expenditures must not exceed our revenues. The budget has to equal the revenues is our ceiling. We must break that into three components: the administrative component, the program component, and the capital component. You will see here there is a small decrease in the program component. That is due to some reallocation of expenditures that were previously recorded under program that should have been categorized as administrative and capital. Here you'll further see what the expenditures are. That we have 81% for salaries and benefits, 11% for general support, 3% for debt service and transfers, and 5% pupil transportation and community services. So what does that impact? So the tax levy impact, the proposed increase of almost $1.8 million, using the tentative 2021 assessment roll, the tax rate per 1,000 assessed value is estimated to decrease. Now, why is it estimated to decrease? It's because the school taxable assessments increased from last year to this year, and they increased approximately $129 million. So the tax is spread amongst a higher tax base, and that can cause the tax rate to decrease. So for the 2021 school year, the actual amount per 1,000 assessed value was $22.32. The estimated for 21-22 is $22.06. So therefore, there is a 26 cents decrease per $1,000 of assessed value. So here we'll talk a little further about that. If your house is assessed at $400,000 and the assessment does not change from year to year, you may expect to see an estimated annual tax decrease of $105 or $9 per month. Now, those assessments are set by the town of Carmel, and I believe there are assessment notices going out now currently. So there are some people that will see a change in their assessment. But if you take your assessment divided by 1,000, you'll know how many thousands, multiply it times that estimated tax rate, and that will give you the amount of your tax bill or estimated tax bill, because again, the roll is tentative. the school district doesn't have any part in valuing the assessments. They do definitely come from the town. We take what the information they give us and we apply it to our tax levy increase. What I want you also to see is that average tax levy increase over the past 6 years averages 1.09%. So for 6 years, we have always stayed at or under the cap and averaged just over that 1% mark. So what you'll see next Tuesday on the budget are two propositions. The first proposition is the budget of 127 million. That will be one area. And then the second proposition is for that purchase of school buses, and that is the 883,500. That amount is it is 55% state aidable, and it is also spread over 5 years for that cost. So the replacement plan for our school buses, we did not put into play last year. We did not put out a second proposition. This year, we're purchasing those buses that we did not purchase last year. And we do need to continue to replace that fleet to keep it viable and safe for our students. That being said, I just wanted to bring out the federal stimulus really quick, just so everyone knows this money is not accounted for in the general fund. In the state budget, it is written into law that we must record this in the special aid fund. The special aid fund is not voted on by the public. There are two different groups. One is the Corona Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act that was passed in December of 20. That is about approximately 3.7 million and available for use until September of 2023. Then their American Rescue Plan, March of 21, is just over 2 million and available for use until September of 2024. What we do know is that these expenditures must be COVID related. A portion of it will be to address learning loss, and then other areas we can use is to enhance school facilities and infrastructure costs to reduce health risks, and then to offer broadband and device access. These expenditures will likely be one-time costs. They should not be recurring costs, and that is why they would not be kept in our general fund budget. So I just want everyone to know that this is separate and apart. We are receiving these funds, but they are not part of the general fund, as they are not allowed to be part of the general fund. Mr. DiCarlo, would you like to address?
Sure. We go over this every year. We hope that we never have to get to this point, but in case we do, and the budget goes down next Tuesday, the Board of Education has a couple of options. Number one, they can automatically go to a contingency budget in which we have to cut approximately $1.8 million. And then we're talking about reductions in staff, programs, both extracurricular, athletic, and then the use of community facilities for outside groups. The second option the board can do is they can keep that same budget and put it up a second time in June, or they can look to make modifications to the original budget and put that out at a second vote in June. If that happens to go down in the second vote, then we'd have to adopt the $1.8 of in a contingency budget. It's something we don't want to think about, but we do need every year to let the public know that should that happen, these are the options moving forward. And then most importantly, a week from today, starting at 6 a.m. and ending at 9 p.m. is the budget vote, the trustee vote. Please, if you do have some fears continuing with regards to COVID-19, you can ask for an absentee ballot. You can go to the district clerk webpage or the page that's right here in front of you and ask for that ballot and fill out specific form, and Ms. LaRocca will work with you with that. Also tonight, after the presentation, will be a PTO-sponsored meet and greet the candidates. There are 6 candidates that are running for 3 open trustee seats. The PTO will be sponsoring that. After the meeting tonight, you'll get to meet those candidates, and there'll be a series of questions that the PTO will be asking. So please make sure you come out and you vote next Tuesday, May 18th from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Mahopac High School. That is our presentation for tonight. Chandra, anything else you'd like to add?
Not at this time, but again, yes, if we do have many presentations coming up the next few nights to different groups, and we do have that an elementary school-wide presentation. So please, if you'd like to hear more, we will be there. And if you have any questions, please either reach out to myself or Mr. DiCarlo, and we'll make sure that we get back to you.
Thank you. Back to you, President Mongan. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you to our superintendent, Mr. Anthony DiCarlo, and also our assistant superintendent for business, Sandra Clohessy. Excellent job, and thank you so much for all you're doing for us. What I'd like to do right now, I think we have, I'm going to turn it to our district clerk, Melody LaRocca. Melody, do we have a couple of people that are looking to speak to us?
President Mongan?
Yes, we do. We have 3.
Yeah, I got a quick. Do trustees get to ask questions real quick before that or after that? Are trustees allowed to ask questions?
I can speak to that, President Mongan. The budget was adopted by the school board on April 22nd. So if there's some additional kind of questions that may need to be asked, of course, they can be asked from Ms. Clohessy. You can email her.
Okay.
I don't know what specifics we may be asking and looking at, and she might have to do a deeper dive in that and go look at specific lines or whatever, but that's probably the best way moving forward. Trustee McCracken, if that's acceptable to you, please.
Sure. That sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I had 3 folks. I'll start with Mr. Jack Moda, admitting him now.
Okay, great.
He's joining.
Great. Jack.
Mr. Mongan, how are you today?
Very good, sir. Welcome, and thanks for joining us this evening. So go right ahead. Just right in. Let's go.
Thank you. Okay, so Ms. Clohessy, thank you very much for explaining, clarifying. Actually, you touched on my question. I just want a little more clarification, if you could, for the community. There's a lot of questions coming out regarding the assessments, and I know that the district is not responsible for those. But can you just explain one more time so everyone is very clear and understand? If the assessments have gone up, which I've been told from people I've talked to, assessments have gone up from 6,000 to 20,000 across the board. Mine went up 15,000 personally. So how exactly is that going to affect my taxes? So I could do the math. I want to make sure I write it down properly.
I can address that. So
Thank
you
you.
would take your total assessment, divide it by 1,000, and multiply it by the anticipated tax rate, and that will tell you what your tax bill.
Okay.
But Mr. Moda, it's not as easy as that, because I did speak to Glenn Drosy, the assessor, and I asked that specific question. And what he was saying to me is that it doesn't necessarily mean because your assessment went up that your tax may go up, because there's so many different variables. So if you read that piece of paper you get, there's STAR, there's other exemptions. So it's very, very difficult to ascertain, even though your assessments might have gone up, whether or not your taxes will go up or not, because there's so many different variables. So it's not that easy to ascertain what is or may not be. I think the important thing is that at the end of the day, the rate did go down, and it depends, like, you know, what your specific and everybody's individual issues may be with their taxes and what may be exemptions or not. Because exactly what you asked, I asked him, and he said, Mr. DeCarlo, it's very difficult because everybody is different. So just because you might have gone up does not necessarily mean your taxes will go up.
Okay. I know, because he did tell me that last year, and they went up anyway. So
Yeah.
I take his word with a grain of salt, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I
So
can do
the
it.
public's interested too. So thank you for the answer. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And you know what they say? Usually what may happen, Mr. Mata, is, you know, a third will stay maybe the same as last year, right? Even with the decrease. So let's just say, for argument's sake, I know I'm paying 11 or 12,000 right now. Because of this decrease, even though I went up, I may stay flat. There may see some people that may see that $105 decrease to $9 a month, and there may be some people that goes up, but the number will not be as proportional because the rate went down, because the $129 million now over that almost $8 million increase gets spread out over everybody.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the explanation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Mongan.
All right, we'll see you in a little while.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Melody.
Okay, I have Mr. Del Campo coming in.
Terrific.
Mr. Del Campo, you're muted.
Dinosaur.
Oh, here we go. Hey, hi, Frank. How are you?
Well, all of you. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks for joining us this evening. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. Yes, this is my 53rd year living in this community, and with my 5 children going through the schools over those years, I'm very proud of all 5, and they got a fantastic education. But more importantly, I've watched your superintendent, Mr. DiCarlo, and the board very closely. I am a trustee of the Mahopac Public Library. I volunteer, and they have made enormous efforts to keep costs down during this very, very difficult time, and even before the pandemic. They're very interested in keeping our community values whole here, and really truly want to make sure that guys like me and my family at our age are able to afford to stay in the community, and they are making a valiant effort, and I applaud them, and I'm very proud of the school district, and they work very closely with us. Some people don't know that. We share our services, which is an enormous help for both of our governments, in a sense, or organizations, because it saves money within our library budget, and it certainly is saving some costs for the schools. So I would encourage the public. I think a lot of you know who I am and what my background is, to on May 18, get out there and vote yes on this budget. This is a great opportunity. It's a difficult time, I know, but we're moving ahead, and I'm very confident that what the values that we want for our community are going to make sure they play out in the new school year. And thank you for allowing me to come in and speak tonight.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Mr. Del Campo. Much appreciated.
You're welcome, Anthony.
Heartfelt words from Frank Del Campo. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mike.
I have Mr. Tom McMahon coming in.
Okay, terrific.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Tom. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Terrific. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you. So for those of you that don't know, my name's Tom McMahon. I'm the president of the Mahopac Teachers Association, but I'm also a resident of Mahopac and have a proud graduate of Mahopac High School, and two children that currently attend our schools. Last week, our executive committee voted to support this year's budget and the commitment it makes to our students, which includes continued improvements to the learning conditions and environments for our students. As many of you know, the housing market in our community is exploding, and certainly our excellent schools are a major factor in that. Passing a school budget will allow this community to continue to thrive. I'd like to thank Mr. DiCarlo, the cabinet, and you, the Board of Education, for your continued support of the programs in our schools. As someone who represents members that live throughout in this area, I can't tell you the number of firsthand accounts that have been shared with me about how well Mahopac teachers in our schools work to educate our students during this pandemic compared to those around us. This is an important perspective, particularly as a resident and parent in this great town. As Mr. Del Campo said, who I respect a lot, I think that this school board has done an amazing job of attempting to work within a tax cap, keeping the tax rate manageable, but while also supporting so many of our great school programs and keeping them intact. And we know the value of that. And so I want to thank you and just encourage everyone to please vote yes on Tuesday, May 18th from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Mahopac High School. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom, thank you very much. Those are very encouraging words. And again, thank you for all that you've done for our community and for our teachers and our schools. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Mongan. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom.
That'll be all.
Okay. All right. Terrific. Well, listen, we've got 24 minutes until the meet the candidates. And that's on Melody, that's on YouTube, correct? That's the link is on YouTube.
It's the same. Yes, it is. It's I'm facilitating it, so it's the same YouTube link.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for all that you do with live streams and all the rest of that, and the meets and the Google and the things and all sorts of stuff. So with
TV channel 2, right? Melody, the TV channel 2?
It will also be on channel 22 and 46.
22 and 46. Yeah, 22 and 46. And then just and I think okay, so we got 20 minutes. Melody, thank you again for all you do. Again, thank you for the residents that spoke this evening to us. And thank you again to our superintendent, our assistant superintendent for business. With that, what I'd like to do is again thank the community for their continued support and getting through this pandemic. We're almost there. Actually, we are there. We're making strides and really looking forward to a great summer and next fall. So, with that, what I'd like to do is, could I entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Michael. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ben and Ray. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. See you in 20 minutes.
Thank
Yep.
you.
See you soon.
Night.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.